Isaiah, emergency podcast. It's just you and I today. Let's dive into it because this has been one of the most eventful NFL free agencies that I've seen in forever. And I'd say that every year, I feel like.
I think every year it's getting more. I think it's getting more impactful and
Yeah.
bigger and bigger moves are happening, and it's to the point where my phone. I don't really text people, but my shit was going off like I had just leaked something to TMZ, or I had gone missing for 24 hours. I mean, ESPN was going the fuck off, and I have the NFL app, and it was going off. So I couldn't even keep track of everything. It's just been kind of crazy to see, and it's not even done yet. I mean, officially nobody can sign until what, the league new year on the
Wednesday.
11th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where,
so
because
we're
technically some of these guys can't even be released. And I think that's why Kyler hasn't been signed by anyone just yet because I
Mhm.
mean, and there's still more on that. But man, let's just jump into it because we got a lot of moves. Like, we'll start at the
Yeah.
top with the Buffalo Bills, obviously.
Mhm.
Shane Buechele signing a 1 year contract, not really caring about that.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was already on the team on the practice squad
and they
anyway, so
just
he's
lost
just
Mitchell.
sneaking
They
in.
just lost Mitch Trubisky. So I mean, you're a backup. We understand you're there. You're break glass in case of emergency. So, but them
Yeah.
acquiring DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears, they also got a 2026 fifth round pick in exchange for just that second round pick. That to
Hmm.
me, that was a big time move from Buffalo saying, we understand what we've been missing from Josh Allen. Let's go get somebody who maybe he's not the best receiver in the league, but like we've seen DJ Moore make plays regardless of where he was. And yes,
Yeah.
maybe he did take a step back last year with Chicago, but I think that could have been more. There was a lot of mouths to feed, as well as Ben Johnson's offense is for a slot merchant.
Yeah. I think it will definitely help Buffalo. You want to see what Joe Brady is going to do with the group of receivers that he has with adding DJ Moore, because there's been too much hype and talent around Keon Coleman. He's just not been, I don't think he's been ready to really be a true professional in the league. And then Khalil Shakir has just been the absolute mainstay in that offense, and being able to get about 80 catches a year and get you about 5 for 65 every game. That ain't gonna pay the bills in the playoffs. You need to have a guy that's going to change the game at that position, and right now DJ Moore has the potential to be one, especially with his plays after the catch. He's very good in space. He's great in yak yards. Whenever he was in Carolina, and really his first year in Chicago, I just think with Caleb Williams that offense kind of changed and he kind of fell off from it.
Facts. And then, so this literally just happened. Adam Schefter just tweeted it out. The former Lions and Steelers quarterback Kyle Allen will now be in Buffalo. So he's probably going to be the backup, and Shane Buechele will not.
Yes,
But
yes,
they signed safety Sam Franklin. They re-signed him to a 3 year deal, and then they also re-signed Connor McGovern on a 4 year deal. I think that they had to kind of do that because their offensive
hmm,
line was really good last year. They were able to run the ball, which they've always been able to. But I think those
yep,
two are good deals. Do you think
yeah.
we'll do this with every team? Do you think Buffalo got better today or worse?
I think they will stay right where they're at with the moves that they made. I
Yeah,
know adding DJ Moore is going to be great, but at the same time, there's just they haven't made the splashes that you need to make in free agency. They've been very developmental under McDermott. This is Joe Brady's first year. Let's see what he can do with
yeah.
what
I
he has.
I want to see him turn the heat up for him. But
Yeah.
moving along in the AFC East, I mean, obviously there's one move from the Miami Dolphins. You guys go out and get Malik Willis. I know I text you playing like after it actually happened. The more I sit
Yeah.
back on it, it's really not a bad move. He's not going to cost that much
Mm-hmm.
against the salary cap this year with like 8 million or something like that. He,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a boom or bust, but like, what else was Miami going to do?
I I mean, honestly, I can see the hesitation with Kyler. Kyler's been in the league longer. Yes, his upside at one point was astronomical. He was at one point, one season in Arizona, was the MVP candidate, really the front runner. Um, But Kyler has had a lot of questions about his health. Kyler is undersized. Kyler kind of doesn't seem like he's committed to the game. I think the best thing that could have happened for Malik Willis is being the backup and stepping in every now and again in Green Bay. I don't know how that looks in our offense because yeah, I just don't know. There's a lot of questions, but I get why they went with Malik over Kyler Murray. And then we just gave away all the church's money. Anybody that had a big contract on our team is now gone.
Yeah.
We in about 3 years we will have an astronomical salary cap, but we're probably going to have to pay Chop Robinson some money by that
Y'all,
time. So
y'all, y'all are. I hate to say this, but y'all are going to finish last in the AFC East this year. And
I
it's
would
in
hope
and
so.
but
I
I,
would hope
I
so.
I think that's what y'all are going for, low key. If we're being real, I
Yeah,
think this is a complete change, and you're going back to the drawing board, which there's nothing wrong with
yeah,
it. I think it's
yeah,
perfect timing, and because of so like you still have Jalen Waddle, and I think Malik Willis is good enough if he hits his ceiling to keep y'all relevant. Maybe y'all like I don't expect y'all to be just horrible. So,
yeah.
but Patriots
He's
they
only
made
26.
right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right. That's
mean
what I'm
that's
saying.
the good thing.
Yeah, yeah, but the Patriots they haven't really done much. I know my Patriots homies they've been saying like, bro, what are we doing? But I see they signed a fullback Reggie Gillum, three
Hmm.
year 12 million with six fully guaranteed, and then they did get Dramont Jones to a
Hmm.
3 year $39.5 million deal. Um, I mean, I can't really say because I do think Miami. I think you guys got worse, but I don't think you got worse for a bad reason. If we're being honest, I think it's a
No,
good reason.
you let go. You're gonna have to pay out the ass for the next 2 years with Tua cutting him, but you let go of the aging players that were under huge contracts. You were able, well, you cut Bradley Chubb as well, so you're going to be paying out a lot this year and next year in cap, but it's going to free it up in the long run to kind of develop it in a nice way. I think with the Patriots, them cutting Stephon Diggs was like somebody said it perfect. I heard it on a podcast. They said basically, there's too many distractions with him on the team. They
Yeah.
don't want that. That's not the Patriot way. So you got to go.
Well, not just
Um,
that, he's aged.
yeah,
I
he's
think they would
30
start
now.
when they seen what Booty did. They saw what some of those dudes did, and they were like,
Hmm.
we. And again, it's a deep wide receiver draft, and that's honestly their playmakers are more than likely coming from the draft. Vrabel
Yeah.
loves that. Vrabel does. I
Hmm.
mean, I know AJ is linked to him, and I'm not saying that AJ won't get traded to him because I think they will. They have the cap and they have all that to do it,
Yeah.
but they could add somebody in the draft that could put them over the top. They could trade up. They
Yeah.
could do a couple of different things. And honestly, I don't think it's fully off the table. This might be just like a hot take is they
Hmm.
could be one of the teams that could fleece the Cowboys out of George Pickens and extend
Yeah.
George Pickens
Yeah.
because it's a young receiver. Yeah, he's a crash out, but like that kid is talented, and that alone is enough with that guy with the rest of the weapons that they have in Drake May, that's enough for their
Hmm.
offense to be proficient. Like legit,
And
legit.
and if they actually seize that opportunity to do that with George, I think it will allow him to be under a leader that will absolutely get him in line. Not
Correct.
saying that Mike T didn't try or Mike T kind of had him a little quiet. It's just his emotions on the field. He's young, so he's showing those too much. It's kind of like, yeah,
It's
you're supposed to be emotional about the game, but you got to rein it in every now and again. So,
I keep it a stack with you. This has been my thought on GP since he's been in the league, and obviously you know me as a diehard Steelers fan. I've watched it. I don't think his temper is he is Terrell Owens. His temper
mhm.
isn't for like being selfish or his temper is because they suck. And he
He
had
wants to
Matt Can
win.
yeah, like that's just what it is. Because this year with Dallas, bro, like his crash out came because he dropped the ball and it got intercepted. Now I do know he missed some meetings, he was late. That's just, it's immaturity, and I get that. But like, I think Vrabel is the perfect coach to help him get to where he needs to, and I think
Hmm.
Vrabel is on a tour of fixing stuff, and that's his get back. That could be his get back from AJ Brown when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah, let's
Oh
really dive into
shit, the
the
Jets did
last
some
the
stuff.
Jets. The Jets are trying to do something to make them better. Getting Demario Davis back, yeah, he's an old man, but that's bringing leadership that is allowing the young guys, the young cats under you to really teach them about the game. The swap for Jermaine Johnson and Tavondre Sweat, that's a steal in my book. You get a good D lineman, I mean a Pro Bowl type D lineman. Getting Minka, yes, Minka is a little bit older, but Minka is also going to bring that leadership. He's going to play more of a hybrid role. He wasn't playing that in Miami. He was only doing that in Pittsburgh. Signing another D lineman, signing another two edge rushers,
You
getting
ready?
Jelani Woods and
You
Brees Hall
ready?
getting tagged. I,
You ready? That's where Kyler's going.
I mean, at this point,
The I think with Kyler right now. We are weighing which team wants to take a peek at him before drafting next year, and which teams are like, we don't even want to give you a chance. We just want to look into next year because I
yeah,
think they have a potential with the pieces they've gotten. They still have Garrett Wilson. They have Brees
hmm
Hall. You get them
hmm
a quarterback who's not Justin Fields, and they can at least be competitive, especially with Aaron Glenn, who's going to have them
yeah,
tough as nails. So
yeah. I really like the fact that they're realizing what happened in New York last year with what Aaron Glenn had, and looking at it like, man, we just got to do something. Our quarterback is ass. Like, and then when Tyrod came in, Tyrod was playing better. He was having them competitive. Tyrod, like every story of Tyrod Taylor, plays well, gets hurt.
yeah,
Plays
and he
well,
wasn't
gets
even
hurt.
supposed to I think that's an issue is that brother, if Tyrod Taylor in 2025, 2026, he's the best quarterback on your roster, you have problems. You have
Yeah,
problems. And I'm not the one that can really talk because we'll get to the Steelers in a little bit, but
yeah,
like I truly think that this team is built for Aaron Glenn, and I think they could be
yeah.
much better. This is one of the teams that I think I'm not saying Super Bowl or conference championship, but this is one of those teams that can go from being horrible and horrendous to watch to they
They
could
might get
easily,
9. They could
yeah,
get
yeah,
9.
they could
I
possibly
believe
be in
it.
the hunt. Yeah, yeah, because they're gonna have an early draft pick.
hmm
What else? What
And
do
I
they
mean,
need?
right now, I mean,
Offensive
they
line,
lost. Yeah, they lost. Yeah, they need offensive linemen,
Sonny
and they really,
Styles at linebacker, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, they lost Quincy Williams and
Yeah,
Quentin. I mean, but that was before the end of last year. But
they elite
they
talent,
just
brother.
got they just got to build some sort of culture there, and I think that they have potential to be in the right direction with it because they did get older. They're staying about the same age range. So I mean,
Well, I think,
let's see what
and
happens.
like you said, I think they said if nothing else, we're gonna stop the run.
Yeah,
If we don't do nothing else, we're gonna stop the run, and then everything else will come off after that. But you're not gonna run the ball on us. It's harder to beat us if you can't run the ball on us. But moving over to
exactly.
my division, the AFC North, obviously over the weekend, Max Crosby gets acquired from the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks in 26 and 27. They re-signed Tyler Huntley. They lost out on Tyler Linderbaum, but they did sign John Simpson to a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Baltimore's moves?
I think bringing Snoop Huntley back, that's a good move as far as like having somebody that will be serviceable if Lamar's health is in question because Snoop Huntley plays well in Baltimore. He didn't play well in Miami. Pretty much that he needs to stay in Baltimore no matter what. Just retire there. John Simpson, that also brings a little more youth on your side again, which is what you need. I think their moves are okay. I mean, you give up. I wouldn't say you give up your future because anybody that puts on a Ravens jersey, for the most part, they're playing there till they're about 35, regardless. So I think right now you got a lot of people in the prime of their careers on that defense, and your secondary is really young outside of Marlon Humphrey. So I mean, I like what they did. They didn't have to. To me, I feel like they didn't give up a lot, other than the fact that they lost Isaiah Likely. I don't like that they let him walk, but
I
so
think he
far
became a
I
locker
ain't got no
room.
problems.
I think he became a locker room issue just because of how he was talking. He got recorded saying we're ass, whatever. So I think they got him out of there for that.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
Lamar will be happy, but I do think that he's replaceable in the draft. Like I like
yeah.
Isaiah
Well, and they
Likely.
re-signed. They re-signed the third string tight end as well,
Yeah, I
Charlie
seen that.
Kohler.
Coke. Yeah, I seen that, and I mean that'll be solid. They need a wide receiver if we're being real.
Yeah,
If
is
they can
it?
get a big time wide receiver in AJ Brown, or they can get a good free agent wide receiver, pray to God George Pickens doesn't go there because that boy will circle 2 games a year, and I don't want that smoke. But I
I
think
guess
if
the
they get
last.
somebody, it's crazy. But go ahead.
Mhm. I think the question I'll ask you as far as the Ravens go is,
What do I
since
think about
Lamar's ever
Max?
really no, since Lamar's never really had a true number one receiver, what does that look like with his style of play if he gets one?
I think it improves it. I think it
I just,
if nothing else,
yeah,
it at least gives him the like I can throw the ball to you whenever I'm in trouble. And I think
yeah,
that's what's gonna like help extend his career. I think that's what quarterbacks like Ben had to do. I
yeah.
think if they wouldn't have found Antonio Brown, I think they'd have ran Ben's ass out of town a lot earlier than they did. Because he was, bro,
They just,
he was throwing game winning or game losing interceptions a lot,
yeah,
especially in the postseason. And then you lose to Tebow. You like, yeah, they were gonna run his ass out of town. And then lo and behold, Antonio Brown, Toe Tap came into town, and yeah, like in the second he was gone, that elbow started looking horrible, and then he went on. But I think with the Max Crosby thing, I like the aggressiveness of Baltimore. I like how they said we know what our deficiencies are. Our deficiencies are wide receiver, and we have no pass rush. What? Let's go get us a pass rush that we know is going to be a dog. And they went and got
yeah.
Max. I don't know if it makes them a Super Bowl contender, but what I will say is they addressed one of their biggest needs, and they did
Yeah.
it in a big way. So shout
Hmm.
out to
They
them.
made a splash. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Bengals, man, like they did some stuff. Obviously, nothing huge. And there's a name that I did want to talk about for them right now to link them to, but safety Brian Cook they signed to a 3-year deal, which is big time. They got Jalen Davis for a corner, Boye Mafe at an edge rush, and then they picked up a guard. Those are their biggest needs, and I think they're going to address them more in depth in the draft. But there's a name
Yep.
that has been floating around trade discussion, and it's Jalen Carter. And I said the team, if it's true, and the team, it like people start reaching for Jalen Carter because the Eagles aren't going to be able to pay everybody. Please, for the love of God, do not let Cincy get him. Because
Yeah.
if Cincinnati gets Jalen Carter before they truly have to extend him, that's scary times, at least this year. Especially
Hmm.
if they can then address the offensive line through the draft and it's better and they can protect Joe. That's
Yep.
demon hours, bro. I don't want none of that.
And the with the cap going up again, man, they can actually put themselves in a position to like pay somebody else. Right now they got about, I don't know, what would you say, like about 200 of their salary cap is going to three people,
Basically.
almost 200.
And yeah.
Yes,
Well, and but remember they had the money to pay Trey Hendrickson. They just didn't want to do it. And
yeah,
everybody's
which
tripping and
is
it's crazy, right? Is it crazy if they get Jalen Carter now?
no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, now I think they're trying to inject some youth too, because Trey Hendrickson is not old, but he's not young, and he had a great season, but he's been consistent. The Browns, getting a guard and a tackle, one via trade, the other one, signing him. I think that's something that they needed to address because their own line has not been good. So whoever is under center with them, you better hope those two motherfuckers work out because
Deshaun.
yeah,
And he
yeah,
knows he probably doing running back drills because he know he gonna run for his life. And
yeah,
they they
regardless. Yeah,
they have to get two playmakers in the draft. And they should be receivers because
yeah,
Quinshon Judkins showed that he was it. So
yes,
they're I don't think they're going to this year, but they're doing all right. They're doing better than the Browns that I remember from
yeah.
my youth. Like they're not
And
just dookie.
it's a good thing that they let Njoku walk because he was going to ask for more money. You got a younger version of him in Harold Fannin. Use him, use him. That defense is going to be good, like it always is. But you got to put points on the board. So,
Yep.
and
And my squad today. So we re-signed Asante Samuel Jr., which I like because I think he's a good number 2 corner opposite Joey Porter Jr. And then it's
Mhm.
even crazier because now you can slide him in the slot corner if you want because they also went out and signed Jamel Dean from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 3-year, $36 million deal. So he could be technically number two, meaning you have
Mhm.
flexibility with Jalen Ramsey. You can move him to dime. You can move him to safety. You can trade him if you wanted to. You could do whatever you wanted to. We re-signed who will be our number three linebacker, Cole Holcomb, who we got from the Commanders like 3 or 4 years ago. He's been dealing with injuries, but when healthy, he's been very good. And since he'll be our number three, I'm fine with that. We traded for Michael Pittman, a late pick swap, so we didn't give anything up, and then we extended him, so he counts to next to nothing on the salary
Mhm.
cap this year. And then we also, right whenever you and I started this podcast, the Steelers were able to sign Rico Dowdle, who will help be in the backfield with Jalen Warren. And
Mhm.
all signs now point to them bringing back Aaron Rodgers out of nothing, or if for nothing else, because how they structured a lot of these deals where they're not counting a lot against the salary cap, meaning they're
Mhm.
trying to put a team together to win now because they're going to have to pay people eventually or finagle the
Mhm.
contracts. But it also lets me know that they are building a team for the quarterback that they draft next year
Yes.
because I
Yes.
think they can get an elite talent anywhere in the first round next year. And if they're able to get their hands on one of those guys, the team around him is pretty much complete. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
what you would want.
You you want to inject a little bit of youth on the D line. And I think in the secondary, you pretty much got one old guy in the secondary now, and then the linebacking core is very young and very fast. So really, it's just come on, Cam. Let's go ahead and retire, brother. Let's go ahead.
I want him to. I want Raj to retire. I want to see what youth does. I think they would be so much better if Kyler in Pittsburgh to me works because he doesn't have to be amazing. That's
No,
the only reason. Just run the ball and just be good on third downs. That's it. And he
yeah,
gives you that because of his mobility. He doesn't have to
and
be Superman. It won't expose him to getting hurt. But again, I'm just telling you because I listen to a lot of Steelers media.
mhm,
They don't care. They're going Rodgers. Nobody like I for me, anybody who plays, well, I don't want to say that. For me, anybody who doesn't just have a glazing Steelers bias looks
mhm,
at it and says Aaron Rodgers has been done. But Steelers fans just can't. That for some reason, when it's an old guy, they can't. They can't let go. They watched Titanic and they said she let go of Jack and will never do that. And it's like, yeah, she let go of Jack because it was her or both of them. Like that's what it was.
yeah,
And
and he
yeah,
was frozen to death.
yes. Yeah, so and that's how the story was written. So let's stop it. Like just let go, my guy, and then
Yeah,
go get on the life raft and get up out of there and don't end
yep,
up like the submersible. But you dig what I'm saying? Like that's it's just it reminds me of the NBA, especially since we're in Oklahoma. But
hmm
I think a lot of fan bases, 90% of fan bases aren't even fans of the sport or the organization. They're just fans of their team. And
hmm
it's just like the thought process behind that is crazy because they don't care what the rest of the league is doing, dog. They don't care
hmm
how everybody's moving. They're just like, this is how we always do it. And it's like, awesome. You sound like a dinosaur. That's what you
yeah.
are. You're just waiting
You
for the
need
meteor to come down.
you need to switch it up at some clip. But I mean, they have the potential to make some noise again. I think as crazy as some Steelers faithful think it is for McCarthy, I really like the fact that he's there because I've seen him turn offenses around in other places. So
I hope,
I,
I hope, but I want him to do what he did when he was in Green Bay when he seen old man Rogers or old man Brett, and he was
hmm
like, he's still all right, but he's not what he used to be. Let's move off of him and
hmm
go get and just
yeah,
I'll make Aaron play better, and he did, and I
yeah,
hope he does that again, where he's just like, just give me a quarterback that can move. That way, I can get him outside the pocket, and they can just
yeah,
launch the ball down the field to Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf.
yep.
But moving on to the AFC South, Cameron would love all this shit. The Texans have been pretty busy. They acquired David Montgomery, which I think that
hmm
signifies the end for Joe Mixon. They re-signed
And
Dalton
released
Schultz.
him. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, they obviously traded Juice Scruggs. They re-signed Trent Brown. They re-signed Ed Ingram. They re-signed Naquan Jones. They re-signed Sheldon Rankins. They obviously re-signed Daniil Hunter, which is big time. He got a big ass deal. They
Yeah.
re-signed EJ Speed, and then they signed Reed Blankenship, which is to me is a nice ass signing because now you're adding more
Yes.
depth to that defense. Now
Yeah.
they are also, in my opinion, in a good spot if CJ Stroud just gets his head out of his butt because they
Yes.
are getting Tank Dell back and Nico Collins will
Yes.
be there and they drafted they
Hmm.
picked wide receiver first round last year or second.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think they'll be
And yeah,
fine.
they had Jaden Higgins
That's right.
is
Yeah.
who
I
they
think they'll
picked,
be.
which I definitely think he has an opportunity to improve on what was going on is because he looked impressive, man. I mean, people were talking about him being the wide receiver too in that offense, behind Nico Collins, and then CJ Stroud just he's slowly regressed every single year, and you have to look at it like, hey man, what's happening? Are you okay? Do what do you need to be better? Because they got you a good running back, in Joe Mixon. Yeah, Joe was hurt last year, but now you got another good running back. So it's not like you guys won't be able to run the ball.
I
Something's got to
agree.
change.
I agree. I think what it was with CJ is he just needed his skill position. He needed everybody there. I don't think he's good enough to backpack, but he is good enough to play whenever all the pieces are there. He's good enough management. Like he's an old school point guard. He's able to facilitate whenever everybody's got it going. But not having Nico for a few games and then also not having Tank Dell, having a rookie have to play more significant snaps because Tank Dell is hurt,
Yeah,
and then not having Joe Mixon and having to have Nick Chubb, I think that kind of hurt a little bit. This
yeah,
should be his bounce back year, but if it's not, I expect Houston will be drafting quarterback next year.
yep.
Arch Manning on deck. The Colts, they tried. I mean, the Colts tried to put a transition tag on Daniel Jones. They signed Alec Pierce to a huge deal. Um,
Is
obviously,
he worth that?
give me a second. They signed Arden Key, and then they acquired Colby Wooden in a trade from Green Bay, and then they re-signed their kicker. They still haven't really came to a deal with Daniel Jones just yet. Apparently, Daniel Jones is wanting way more money. Well, he's wanting more money than what they initially offered. I'm sure they'll get a deal done. Is Alec Pierce worth it? I just think it's the market right now.
I'm well. I will say he caught 4,000 last year. Okay, and he caught 4,000 on I think less than 70 catches. So he is extremely boom or bust. He's got to be wide ass open, and he's got to be running a go route down the field and beating the guy one on one. He's really not running intermediate routes. He's not running short routes. He's not running in space. He is catching bombs. So, with that being said, if you really look at it, at the start of the season, he would have like one game that was huge. He's beaten one on one coverage, single high safety. Then, when Riley Leonard came in and played, he played even better because Riley Leonard was pushing the ball down the field more. And then what happened as soon as Philip Rivers came in?
Philip was checking that motherfucker down.
Every single damn time. Alec Pierce thrived the most when Anthony Richardson was throwing the ball. For 4 years, for that amount of money, with 84 of it guaranteed, I don't see the value in him. The only reason why I think that they did it is because they're looking at it from a sense of, if we just get our quarterback, our real guy, since because they're still dealing with the Andrew Luck hangover, in my opinion. If we just get our guy, Alec Pierce could be a Pro Bowl, All Pro type receiver. But to me, he's not. He's just a guy that catches bombs. I think he did it on like literally less than probably 60 catches.
I think
He didn't
JSN
have a
got
lot.
people twerking, and they think maybe they see it. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
he might be
but
because he had
Jason ran every route.
yeah,
I
but
don't
I
like the
think I
move.
think I think it's we'll see because I mean
Yeah.
one of the biggest reasons they did want DK out of Seattle is because they wanted JSN to be able to run deeper down the field and run those other routes to show that he could do it. So maybe they just believe in it. I don't know if it's right or not. But I mean, they have enough weapons to where he's still gonna just run down the field because you have to account for Jonathan Taylor, you have to account for Tyler Warren. So I think it's fine, and that's just the market. Because I mean, you got to think of how much money Jamar is making, how much money DK is making, how much money Jettis is making. It's just, I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, at this point, it's a lower tier wide receiver deal, and it's
yeah,
just they wanted to keep him. Um, Jacksonville, they've been relatively quiet. Like they haven't made any huge moves. Everybody thought Brian Thomas Jr. was going to get traded, and I tried to tell people they were smoking bath salts. But I mean, it's still early, and they could move him. I just don't think they will. But I mean, what they get DJ Dallas, they re-signed Quentin Morris, they re-signed
they
Dennis
they're
Gardeck,
just re-signing people,
re-signing Matt
honestly.
Dickerson, and re-signed Monteric Brown. Yeah. I mean, they
So
didn't
they're
sign anybody new. They haven't traded anybody. They're the same.
but they did lose Travis Etienne, so you want to look
Yes.
at that. And before that, losing takes Bigsby in a trade. They're gonna have to go running back in this year's draft. In
Then they
my
don't have a first
modest
round.
opinion,
Then they don't have
yeah,
a first rounder. So that I was gonna
they're gonna
say
have to find
Jeremiah
a
Love would
gym.
be awesome, but they traded that to go up to get Travis Hunter, which we'll see. I mean, Travis Hunter
Yeah,
is going to play primarily corner this year. So Tennessee is busy. I mean, they signed Mitchell Trubisky to back up Cam Ward, and I think it's just because of the similar body types, just
mm-hmm.
as a break glass in case of emergency. They signed Wandale Robinson, which I like. They signed Cordell Volson, center Austin Schlottman, Jermaine Johnson. They traded for him to give him a pass rush. John Franklin Myers. They signed Cordell Flott, Alante Taylor, and then Morgan Cox.
I think the Alontae Taylor move is probably their best signing. Just because in New Orleans he's a good corner,
Yeah.
and it's just the fact that it was New Orleans that you really didn't know how good his play was. I do like the Jonathan Franklin Myers move. Jermaine Johnson, I want to see what he looks like because he had flashes in New York, but with how they did their rotation of their D linemen, it was kind of weird. He didn't get on the field a whole lot, battling some injuries as well. So let's see what happens with him. But I do like Wandale Robinson. It gives him a true security blanket and an underneath route that he can throw to because right now Calvin Ridley is basically one step away from getting cut. As far as the amount of drops he had last year, um, you want to see them in the draft. I think in the draft they need to address their needs on the offensive line and possibly another receiver because that receiving room is god awful.
And they'll have a
So
ta-
they need to do.
they'll have a pick high enough to take a. I think they're going to take wide receiver. That's probably Carnell Tate or someone like that. If we're
Yeah,
being honest.
I agree with you.
No,
But I mean,
you're
I
right.
so far I don't have any issues
Oh,
with the moves that they're making.
maybe Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I mean Pollard, but Pollard
But he
still ran for
older,
almost a
bro.
thousand.
He older. He like 31.
He's 28.
Stop it.
He's
Nah, bro.
28.
He 42. I just
It's
looked
just
at it.
crazy. It's just crazy because you look at how long ago it feels like he was backing up Zeke.
Man, he'll be 29 at the end of next month. That's grandpa age is back up, bro. Or as a running back,
Yeah, I
you
guess.
need to start looking, especially since you're still building. You need a running back for the future if he's there and you want
Yeah,
him. But I mean, obviously, yeah, I think so because you also address defensive line. You got a pass rush. You did get another receiver, and you also got offensive line. So I
yeah,
mean, why not? Why not?
yeah.
They're
Why
still
not?
bums. AFC West. I seen the Broncos. They re-signed Sam Ellinger. Okay, cool, right? Like,
Jackie Dobbins. Okay.
yeah, I do like
Uh,
the J.K. Dobbins coming back, but I mean, yeah, right. Adam Trotman, Alex Singleton, Justin
just
Stride.
re-signed
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
I mean,
they haven't done
honestly.
anything, but I think it's just because they feel comfortable with what they have and they're going to draft. And I don't know if they have a first rounder this year. I don't think they do, but I mean, this draft has decent amount. And I was trying to think earlier today at work, like what does Denver need? Because I mean, they were a Bo Nix injury away from going to the Super Bowl.
I think what they've needed. is more consistent, a more consistent receiving core. Just so if Sutton, he's kind of the red zone target, and their tight end room is mid at best. So just more consistent on the offensive side of the ball in the receiving core because
Boy,
Cortland
Denver gonna be on
Sutton,
your ass.
well, Cortland Sutton barely had 1,000. Barely.
It's their receiver by committee.
Yes.
Like, but
Yeah.
that's always been Sean Payton's forte, receiver by committee. Um, and then the Chiefs, they got the Manimal. I think that's
Yeah.
dope, which I thought they were going to be linked to Jeremiah Love, but I also think that changes their draft pick to Caleb Downs. They were able
hmm
to, they're going to bring back that duo of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift back for another
hmm
year. And then long snapper
Love to see
James
it.
Winchester, they re signed, and then they signed Kyrus Tonga on a 3 year, $21 million deal. They did lose both corners.
Yes.
Yeah.
McDuffie, and they lost Reed the year before, but they also lost. Who's their other corner?
I don't know. He went to the Rams, so we'll get to him
Yeah.
later. But yeah, they lost both
hmm
of them. But
That's a
I
big
think
blow.
it is. But I do think they're about to go offense heavy. Like I think they're about to
Yes.
slang and bang this shit. This is their
Well, and their
going out
biggest
party.
move to me is cutting that waste of offensive lineman in Jawan Taylor. Thank God. You were paying him way too much money to never set and always give up sacks. So shout out to them. Shout out to them
Facts,
cutting
facts.
Jawan Taylor.
They
God.
scare me. They scare the hell out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Cam was on here last year talking about how the Chiefs' kingdom is over. We'll see. Um,
I just think they hit a bump in the road.
Yeah, facts.
They still
Injuries,
have.
bro. That was their break. That was it. All teams have it, bro. That was their
Mhm.
Jordan going to play baseball. That's what that was for
Yep.
the Chiefs, bro. But
Yeah.
the Raiders have also been very busy. Obviously, they get the number one pick, and all signs point to them picking Fernando Mendoza.
Fernando Mendoza.
Mendoza. Jalen Naylor signed as a free agent.
I
They
like that move
I as
to
do as
kind of
well.
give somebody a nice slot guy can run the intermediate routes for you. Is he's been in the league for about 5 years now. Can adapt well, especially coming from O'Connell. He understands concepts a lot better. Understands defenses. Lindenbaum signing that deal with them. I think it makes no damn difference, and I'm going to tell you why. Because
Oh
it's the
my
Raiders.
God. Oh
It's
my
because it's the
God, brother.
Raiders.
Linderbaum is finna get there and secure their offensive line, and Ashton Genty is a must in fantasy football this year. I guarantee. But they also got Quiddy Pay, N'Kobe Dean,
It's a big
Quay
move.
Walker.
Big
Taron
move.
Johnson and Eric Stokes. I think they are. I mean, obviously they lost Max Crosby, so they need to sure up that defense and bring in some names that can play some nasty football. I think they're on their way. I just think it's not going to be this year.
No, I don't. I don't think so either.
They're
I'm
doing the
gonna
right
let
things
you.
for the future.
Yeah, I will let you kind of build on the Chargers for a second. I want you to start. I want you to start on the
Yeah.
Chargers because I don't know how I'm feeling about them.
So they're re-signing Khalil Mack. They signed Tierre Tart to a 3 year extension. They signed Tyler Biadasz to a 3 year deal center. They re signed Trevor Penning, and then they signed Charlie Kolar. Oh, that
Oh,
was
my
the
bad.
Ravens. Okay.
My
That
bad.
makes sense.
Sorry about
Obviously,
that.
he went to his uncle. And then
hmm
Alec Ingold, they signed the fullback. I don't really think it. I mean, you brought in a center to replace yours. You re-signed your tackle. Like that's all good,
Cut
but
cut Mackay back in.
yeah,
I think they're gonna go online in the draft.
yeah, very much so, and they have to because I think they have been good enough the last 2 to 3 years. The offensive line is just garbage.
Yes. Yes.
But I don't know, I can't say the Chargers got better. Like I still I have them as the third best team in that division just right
Yeah.
now. I'm not saying when the season starts, just right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Really, it all comes down to how does Mr. Herbert look in the playoffs?
We'll see, because he
That's
ain't look good, boy.
no.
But going to the NFC with them
The
balls,
Bulls is
which
making moves
they making
today.
moves, but they are also linked to Trey Hendrickson, which I think if they do that, that is a good move. And so far, they re-signed Javonte Williams. They franchise tag GP. They acquired Rashawn Gary in a trade this morning with the Green Bay Packers. They signed Jalen Thompson, and then they used a second round tender on Brandon Aubrey. I'm pretty sure they made another move, or maybe it's just waiting. But I think they just kind of stayed still as well. But I do think they're expecting to sign Trey Hendrickson.
That's great. And also Dak Prescott canceling his wedding. That boy's about to be on Demon Time. I don't know all the details, but he's not getting married.
They say he
Also,
just can't get a ring. That's what they say
yeah,
happened. They just like, bro,
yeah,
he just can't
wrong
get a ring.
ring, brother. He's
Yeah,
he's he's chasing a different
yeah,
ring.
yeah.
I will say that one of my friends, Paul, is a huge Cowboys fan, and apparently Jerry's been in the media saying, we just need to win now because I think he knows that he's about to go to that upper room.
The
So he's
upper room
he's
where
wanting to see.
Jesus.
I think he's running out of time, man, and he's going all in. He's going full gambler like he did in the late '80s and early '90s to try to
Good,
make big moves.
good for him too, Jerry. Go out in a blaze of glory because it's your team. And honestly, gambling Jerry may be the best version of Jerry. That safe Jerry was not getting it done. So
Yeah.
go ahead and do your damn thing, Jerry. But the New York Football Giants with Harbaugh, they go out and get Isaiah Likely. They re-sign Gunnar Olszewski, who I can't believe I even said his name. I still have a rage against him from when he was a Steeler. They went out or they re-signed Jermaine Ellerman, and then they signed Tremaine Edmonds from Chicago. I
Not a
like
bad
their
deal.
moves. They are a team that I'm curious what they look like because I think that they should be better, but I don't know how good they're going to be in that division because I do think Dallas is better. I do think Philly is better, and I do think Washington is going to be better.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for them too is protecting Jackson Dart. So they're probably going to go online, probably going to go another receiver because they lost Wandale. Malik Neighbors is coming back. Isaiah Likely is a going to be a good safety valve. True, I think he could be a true TE1. Theo Johnson's okay, but it just never really materialized with him. So I like that move with Isaiah Likely. Running back situation, the cocaine bear that is Cam Scatterboo should be back, and having Tyrone Tracy is a good move. So I think they're gonna go heavy O line and defense this year in the draft. So they have potential to at least I'll give them 8 wins. I think they have potential to get 8 on them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Moving on to the Eagles, didn't they lose Jalen Phillips?
Yes, Jalen Phillips signed with the Carolina Panthers,
Panthers, that's what I thought, but they did sign Jordan Davis. That's all the Eagles have done. They lost Jalen
and I
Phillips, and then
mean, to be honest with you, Jalen Phillips was there for about 12 games anyway, so he wasn't gonna. I don't think that they were going to be willing to pay him the money that he ended up getting from Carolina for the simple fact of look at the rest of that defense. There's other names that you're going to prioritize and pay, and right now they've lost 2 guys from that defense. They lost N'Kobe Dean, which Zach Bond filled in great for him. I think that's why they were okay with letting him go. And Reed Blankenship is a little bit older, and they'll probably put Quinyon Mitchell in that role and put the
nah, bro.
other exciting.
Quinion. You come to Quinion Island. He got all that shit locked up. They ain't moving him nowhere. They move it. That boy. He looked at the corner market today and was like,
Give me about 3 years, or they might just extend him
next
before
year.
his rookie
It's yeah.
contract. Yeah.
I do it because it's so much cheaper to do it early. If you wait,
hmm
if you wait, you're spending extra money, and that brother,
That
like the salary
market's
cap
just
is
keep.
going up, and that market is following right behind it.
hmm I
Washington was
agree with you.
busy. but they did a lot of re-signing. They re-signed Marcus
Yeah.
Mariota. They re-signed Traylon Burks. They did sign Laramie Tunsil. They signed Nick Allegretti. They re-signed Andrew Wiley. They signed Odafe Owe. They re-signed Dietrich Wise. They signed Tim Settle. They signed Amik Robertson, and then they re-signed my boy Tress
Oklahoma's
Way. Yeah,
Oklahoma's own
they
Tressway.
they did some stuff, but I still think they need a receiver. They need a big time receiver. I've heard
Yeah.
the Twitter sphere is saying that they're going to be in the market for like a Brandon Ayuk or Jawan Johnson, someone like that. So I
Yeah.
expect just somebody to be out opposite Scary Terry, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. I think they need to go on some youth. They might go and get somebody in the draft as far as a receiver, or kind of give more of a role to. Man, I like when Luke McCaffrey gets in the game. Man, he puts up numbers. Man, if he gets targets, he reels it in. He's serviceable as kind of, but he's more of like a wide receiver for us. So I
Yeah,
don't know if they'll really take that risk on him.
they may slide him up the wide receiver three, especially if they get somebody like Brandon Ayuk to be the true number two. The
Hmm.
Chicago, they did a lot of re-signing as well. They did lose
Hmm.
Tremaine Edmonds, but they were able to sign Devin Bush.
Yep.
They re-signed Case Keenum to be the backup. They re-signed Braxton Jones. They acquired Garrett Bradbury in a trade with the New England Patriots for a fifth rounder. They signed Neville Gallimore, who was just cut by the Cowboys.
Hmm.
DeMarco Jackson they re-signed, and then they signed Kobe Bryant. So kind of
I like that move. I like that move.
I like their moves. They're making sure that that offensive line is good because I think
Yeah.
they know they're pretty set. I truly don't know what they're going to do in the draft.
Yeah.
Um,
I have no idea either. I think
they
they're
may go
one.
wide receiver since they just lost DJ Moore, maybe early.
Yeah. Maybe wide receiver. Maybe shore up the linebacking core because
Yeah,
their corners are good. Their secondary, I guess you could say good. They're serviceable because oh my god, what's his name? Nashawn Wright. He's either going to get burnt or he's going to make a play.
get
I
burnt and
think that,
then get burnt, catch up, and then strip you or something like that.
yeah, for real,
Really
turnover
make you,
king.
yeah, for real, for real. Uh, I think they'll be about the same.
Yeah.
Maybe they go defensive tackle. That's what everybody does when they don't know what to do. Give me the
Yeah.
best defensive tackle available, baby. Start in the trenches.
Mhm.
Detroit, they signed. I mean, they picked up center Cade Mays. They brought in Larry Borum, offensive tackle, and then they brought in it looks like a guard, Juice Scruggs. They acquired him from the Texans in part of the David Montgomery trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? It doesn't move
And
me, but
to me, I think what, but I don't understand because losing a guy like David Montgomery, the Sonic and Knuckles combo, it allowed you to protect some sort of health with Jameer Gibbs. I think losing David Montgomery, and David Montgomery's not old either. He's like 28. Losing a guy like him is, I think they're going to feel it a lot sooner than they think because that 1-2 punch was like so good for what Jared Goff needed to do in that offense. And if you become very one dimensional in the run game, you don't have a good balance like they had. But I guess at the same time, getting more O linemen might be the medicine that they need to cure that. So
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But let's see. So the Packers, they did acquire Zaire Franklin, because they lost Quay Walker, obviously.
mhm.
They did go out and get Sean Ryan, which again, sure enough, that offensive line for Jordan Love.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know for them either. Like defensive tackle is probably going to be a need. Wide receiver to get a true number one is going to be a
yes,
need depending on who's available. Um, but we'll see what they do. They could go
yeah,
corner or something like that as well.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think so too. Minnesota Vikings re-signing and signing James Pierre. Kind of safe moves. Keeping a young guy on the linebacking core, and then getting some help at corner. I think that's a good move for them. I don't think they got burnt last year. That whole season was just strange because They really couldn't find consistency on either side of the ball. And I think they definitely need to see what they need to do in the running back room. You lose a good vet in Aaron Jones. Is Mason coming back? What are they gonna do? And Jettas he's getting tired, man.
What's
Boy,
his
getting
name?
tired.
What is his name?
Jettas,
Nine.
Jet
Nine. Nine.
Nine is still the jury's not
Nine.
out on nine.
Nine, baby. He coming back. This his year. This his year. This his year. Nine time. Imagine they get Rodgers. They're not going to, but imagine they get Rodgers. You think that signifies like they're going for it? Or you think a move like Kyler signifies that they're going for it? Or that they immediately understand that JJ McCarthy ain't it and they're punting?
I think that's a punt move. I
You
think that's
think
a
they're
punt
gonna
move all the
punt?
way.
You think they're gonna punt, or you think they're gonna rock out with nine?
I don't know, man. I mean, this is his last year was a hey, it's your first year, welcome to the NFL. This is the year that he has to, in my opinion, truly make an impact. Because if you continue to struggle again with what Kevin O'Connell has been able to do with every other quarterback that he's coached and make them improve the way that he has, if you can't do it, then your time's going to run out a lot sooner than what you think.
I agree. And now to the NFC South, where the Atlanta Falcons take the boy Tua Tagovailoa.
Take my boy. Look at him. He's right behind me. He's always over my shoulder, watching over
They also signed
franchise.
Jahan Dotson. They signed
Juice Robinson.
Olamide. Yeah, Austin Hooper. They franchise tag Kyle Pitts, Christian Harris. They re-signed, and they brought in Nick Folk. Um, very Atlanta Falcons moves. I
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing.
Well, and they're probably going to have their star edge rusher that they got in the draft last year. He's probably going to prison. So I think maybe you need to go get another edge guy in the draft this year. Just to,
Yeah, absolutely. Since you signed two wide receivers, and what do you think about Tua with them?
I legitimately, he's basically signing a 1 year vet min because we're paying him $45 million this year. So to me, it's going to be a toss up on who they start week one. Neither one of them can stay healthy. Neither one of them got good legs. Neither one of them could really push the ball down the field with their arm strength. So you are looking to be extremely safe. Bijan Robinson is probably going to have 375 carries this year because you also let Tyler Algier walk. So to me, it doesn't matter who's throwing the ball.
Yeah, I was gonna
Kyle
say
Pitts is gone next year. Drake
Bijan is
London,
Bijan's about to have 9,000 targets. He could be the first running back to win the MVP since Adrian Peterson. He has that
yeah,
potential this year because Tua or Penix, like somebody's gonna get hurt
yeah,
easy.
it's
So
guaranteed somebody's gonna get hurt.
hey, the Carolina Panthers got busy. As we mentioned, they went out and got Jalen Phillips. They got
And
Kenny Flickett to
Super
back up
Bowl winning
Super
quarterback.
Bowl winner, Kenny Flickett. Yes, he can. A Kyle Bay, oh God, a Caleb Evans, my fault, and then JJ Jansen, long snapper. So they did the thing. You know what I'm
I
saying? Like,
like the idea of getting a edge rusher. Losing Brian Burns a couple years ago, and Derek Brown still being there. Yes, he's going to stop the run, but you need a guy that can try to get to the quarterback. Jalen Williams is a good signing. However, I think they paid him a little too much money to come over there and do that because I have not seen him. It's going to sound rude because I'm just a guy sitting here talking to you about NFL players. But as far as the market value for a edge rusher, I think they overpaid for him.
let's see, 4 years, 120 mil, so about 30 mil a year. And
Mm.
and
I,
next year they'll be fine, bro. Market's moving fast. Salary cap's going up. You just old. You just old.
yeah, you're
Uh,
right.
they will. I mean, We'll see. I think this is our boy's last chance. I
Yeah,
think Xavier Leggett comes out there and he starts fumbling and dropping the damn ball. He'll be out of the league next year.
yeah, especially because they went two wide receivers in back-to-back drafts in the first round.
And
You're
Ted
a
didn't
first
use them
rounder.
like that.
Yeah, you're a first rounder, and Jalen Coker is generating more targets than you. Something's got to be said about that, man.
He's
You need to turn
also
over a new
catching the
leaf.
ball. He's also catching the
Yeah,
ball. Travis Etienne gets signed by the Saints. They also signed Noah Fant. They signed David Edwards, John Ridgeway, Julian Blackman, and Ryan Wright. All signs point to them losing Alvin Kamara. So it looks like
and at
they're,
his age too,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, he's due a lot of money. I think he's the
yes,
biggest salary cap hit this year, and it doesn't make sense because it's not 2019. Like
yeah,
Alvin Kamara is a solid running back, but his best days are well behind him. You cannot
and
justify paying him that much.
the craziest stat about him is he has never ran for 1,000 yards in an NFL season.
It doesn't surprise me, but he gives you that dual threat, and that's why he's so
Yes.
valuable.
Mhm.
But no, I get it. Especially, I mean, you got to think a lot of those teams when he first got there, they were throwing the ball like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the Travis
Well, they
Etienne
had
kid,
good
but that's it for him.
they had good balance at running back. Whenever he came into the league, it was him and Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that kind of saved that notion of him. But that running back room now, you got Kendra Miller, Alvin Kamara, Travis Etienne,
You ain't even got to mention.
and
You ain't even got to mention Alvin Kamara, bro. He's out of there. I'm telling you, he's out of there. He's out of there, man. The Buccaneers they go out and sign the Steelers MVP last year, Kenny G, Kenneth Gainwell. Shouts out. They re-signed Cade Otton, and then they signed Alex I can't even say it.
Anzalone.
There you go.
Anzalone.
Anzalone or Anzalone? Anzalone.
It's Anzalone from
Oh,
Detroit.
my baloney has a first name. But anyways, um, you, I
How do you feel about Gainwell going there in that
I
offense
think it's
and losing
good for.
Mike Evans at the same clip?
So I think the reason they're able to lose Mike Evans is because Emeka Ibuka was a stud last year, and I
Yeah,
think it's time due
they
to
got a
Mike
lot of
Evans.
youth.
Yes, that's why.
Tez,
Yes,
McMillan.
yes,
I mean, yes,
McMuffin.
Godwin is still there, but
They
you
also,
get
I mean, like Kenny G is a good number two. He's a good
mm,
receiving back. He showed that he led the Steelers in receiving. So like, you dig what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
oh, but a message. Your running back leads you in receiving yards, but let's bring the quarterback back from the fuck out of here. Um,
absolutely.
I don't. I think they've done the least amount so far in that division, but
Mhm.
I still think they're better than the Falcons.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with
Yeah,
you, especially on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
yeah. But hey, Stefanski's gonna have Bijan run for 1,800 yards, guaranteed.
Good.
Card Cardinals. They signed Gardner Minshew. They signed Tyler Algier. They signed Kendrick Bourne. They signed Isaac Siamalu from the Steelers. They signed L.J. Collier. They signed Roy Lopez. They signed Blake Gillikin, and then they signed Chad Ryland. They addressed both punter and kicker. They gave both of them a deal. Defensive line, offensive line. They brought in Kendrick Bourne, Tyler Algier to replace, or they renegotiated James Conner's deal, and then Gardner Minshew. It looks like is going to back up Jacoby Brissett. So it looks like they're punting for the draft next year.
Let's go, Arch in Arizona. Hashtag it now.
Okay.
Arch in Arizona.
Arch in Arizona. That boy dreading
Clock it.
his life right now.
Clock it. That's where
He's
he's going to
dreading.
end
He
up,
like,
man. Because
damn it. I ain't got Larry Fitzgerald.
I know. I mean, you want that's the biggest thing. Michael Wilson proved that he is a very good wide receiver. What the fuck is Marvin Harrison Jr. doing? You look at them and their age and what they can offer to that team with an all world tight end like Trey McBride. For the love of God, Arizona,
Do
please
something. Shit.
do something. You
They
got a
have
lot of
to.
talent.
They have to because again, the Rams they addressed defense heavy. They went out and got safety Cameron Curl. They got Jalen Watson. They also traded for Trent McDuffie and then extended him. David Quisenberry. They re-signed him, and then they're re-signing Tyler Higbee. they're gonna be better. Like, and they
And re-signing Higby is going to really help because Terrence Ferguson, their tight end, that was a rookie that kind of showed up and kind of showed out towards the end of the season. They're going to be able to run a two tight end set, run some play action off of it, and both of them be a threat in it. And especially, you still got if you got Poop Dog, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? And Devontae is still there, so addressing their defense is the perfect thing that they need to do this year
they will draft
in
a
the draft.
playmaker
And
too.
yep,
They're gonna draft a playmaker, and it's gonna be curtains. It's gonna be curtains, I tell you. But nah, they'll probably address a playmaker in the second round. I think they're probably just gonna draft Ty Simpson and stash him,
yeah,
or they could wait until next year and draft. Who knows?
their QB of the future because I think this is the last ride of Matt
Yeah,
Stafford.
I agree. But since Sean McVay is such a good offensive mind, I think they can bring in a guy young. I mean, he got Jared Goff like when he was young to the Super Bowl, so
Mm-hmm.
I think he
Yep,
could bring a guy from next year and be better. Or since this is the last ride, I think he can give Ty Simpson enough experience sitting behind Matthew Stafford to have him ready for next year, and I think
definitely.
that's scary.
I
But
can see
then
that too.
the Niners, they signed Mike Evans. They signed Vidarian Lowe. They signed John Weeks, and then they signed from the Panthers Eddie Pinero, and I love the Mike Evans sign.
I want to know with the signing of Mike Evans, with all of the radiation that's in their
Trent's out of
practice
there.
facility. Yeah, yeah. Trent's gone. If Trent doesn't get picked up by somebody, he's probably just going to go and retire, which allows him to not, I wouldn't say gatekeep, but, you know, hinder the development of somebody else that they got waiting in the wings. Uh, Mike Evans, to me, signing with them is going to add veteran leadership. It's also going to add a guy that could go and get those red zone catches. You're not going to have Kittle all year next year. So you're going to need another playmaker on the offensive side of the ball to where it's not McCaffrey heavy like it was. I like it, but a 3 year deal, I probably would have left him at about a 2 year deal, maybe one. But
I think they
I'm
just,
not a
I think,
GM.
well, I think all on contracts now they just know they just front load it and put it in back end. They'll just cut you and then you don't get shit. So they're not really worried
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
Seattle finishing up here, the Super Bowl champs. They re-signed Rashid Shaheed, which I thought was like a must. And then they
Mhm.
also re-signed Joshua Joby. They lost a couple of guys, but
Yes,
I
that's
like
what I was gonna say.
like Kenneth Walker. But I do think we've been expecting them to lose Kenneth Walker since the last 2 years.
His asking price was going to be pretty high.
Yes.
Um, with them losing Kobe Bryant in their secondary, I wish they would have tried to get him to take more of a team friendly deal because that defense far and away was what allowed them to be in that position to get to the Super Bowl. Their offense just didn't. In some games, their offense did enough to stay alive. You you look at it, oh well, JSN had a historic season. Absolutely, there's a lot of games where JSN didn't do shit, and their defense had to bail them out, and it was just about Sam Darnold not fucking up for them to win. Because essentially, that Super Bowl was a lot of Kenneth Walker having a huge game. Sam Darnold had a very mild game in the AFC Championship. It was the same way. So
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
he like when you have a team like that, when you're surrounded by that much talent, your quarterback is supposed to just do that.
Mhm.
They just said just don't lose us the game, and it worked.
Yeah,
That I mean, good on them. That's what the Steelers are one too. And then obviously, before we wrap up here, man, let's talk about that card that we watched on Saturday. Um,
that was.
I mean, let's just talk about it in a whole because there's nothing that stood out to me from that card at all. Like nothing took my attention. Go ahead, go ahead.
I For the people that are watching on YouTube, you see it, but the people that are watching on Apple, Spotify, or Google Play, my hands are together in a praying position. It's because I'm praying that they never allow what happened in a BMF title fight to happen again. That card from start to finish was about that could have been a fight night as far as I'm concerned, where you get about a third of the viewership because there was moments where some guys were exciting, some guys were doing call outs, trying to play into the crowd a little bit, but the main fight, far and away, was Charles Oliveira being afraid, in my opinion, of Max Holloway and controlling the fight by keeping him on the ground and point fighting him. I just pulled up the stat, ladies and gentlemen. His control time was 20 minutes and 49 seconds. That is 80% of the entire fight. They were on the ground. He was scared to fight Max Holloway. But that being said, Max, you got to get up. But as soon as he would get up, he would get taken down again. 13 takedown attempts is a lot of just just trying to fight through it.
Let
And
me
Charles Oliveira is one of the best at it.
let me give this. I've watched the UFC for a long time, and there's been point fighters. But from the history of forever, everybody understands what a fight is. And those fights are bangers. Those are the Roy McDonalds and Robbie Lawlers. Those are the Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner wars. It's just that's what it is. And so when the BMF title was created, that has been the thought process behind the BMF. I know usually if you see a fight like Conor and Habib, for instance, you have a lot of people who say, "Oh, he just laid on him," but it's for a world title, so he like get up, right? The BMF
Mhm.
is, in my opinion, different. It was supposed to embody wars. So the whole thought process behind the BMF is let's go out here and go to war. I don't feel like Charles went out there and went to war. I feel like he went out there and said I am a very much better grappler than you. But that's it. He did do damage. It's not like he just didn't do any. But with as easy as you took him down and as strong as you are, you should have beat Max you should have beat him up, and you
And he
didn't.
didn't.
And that's the issue. It's not that he grappled him, it's just that he didn't beat him up. And
Yeah.
to be a BMF, you're thinking of a bar fight, a street fight, an old school banger that everyone is going to love, especially casual fighters. The whole thought behind the BMF is for casual fans. So I don't like listening to diehards say, "Well, yeah, well, why don't you casuals go watch kickboxing and boxing?" That's the point of the BMF is to beat somebody up because you are a bad mother. Shut your mouth. That's the whole
Exactly.
point. That's the whole point. And if you don't believe me, the inventor of the belt is Nate Diaz. And he sat there complaining about the fight the entire time. So if you want to call me a casual for holding that, then call the inventor of the belt a casual.
Yeah. Point received, point taken. I think the biggest thing that I learned about watching that fight is like you said, because you can look at another title fight with Kamzat Chimaev fighting Drix Duplessis, right? Marlon, he laid on that man, pause, for 20 minutes, but he kept him in a crucifix and kept hitting him in the face constantly. He was putting that I'm taking you down here and I'm going to beat you up and try to see if you can get up. With Charles, it was like, I'm gonna transition, hit, transition,
Threaten. And again, and I
fight
love
hands,
Max.
fight
Max is
hands.
Max is my favorite fighter. Max's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is nowhere close to Dustin. It is like
Yeah.
you dig what I'm saying. Like I've watched Charles put people to sleep, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like he threatened. He didn't even threaten it, and that's my frustration with it. And like I
Yeah.
said, if he would have beat Max up or got him out of there, there was a couple times I thought he was close. But for as good as Charles is on the ground, I expected more. And shout out to
Absolutely.
Max. Shout out to Max for being able to defend the submission attempts, but boy, howdy. Get your ass in the gym and start sprawling or get
Yeah,
stronger, brother, because he manhandled you. As much as I'm
yeah,
sitting here saying that like that wasn't a true BMF fight, in my opinion, I seen you fight
was
Charles
dominant.
regardless,
Yeah,
and he dominated you. Like, get your
yeah,
ass in the gym, homie.
yeah. I mean, any takeaways that you have from anything else on that card as far as how you felt about it,
I'm not
and
finna lie
maybe
to
some
you.
early
I'm not
reactions on the White House card as well.
I'm
But
not gonna lie to you. I don't remember much from that card because I just didn't pay that much attention to it because I was not interested in it. It was on, but I wasn't really paying attention. The White House card I think is good for what it is. I'm the two fights that I want to see. I want to see Poetan fight Cyril Gane, and I want to see
Mhm.
Ilya fight Justin. And I told one of my friends today at work, my prediction early is that Ilya is gonna get Justin out of there quick because Justin's gonna stay in the pocket with him, and that's it. It's crazy, and we
Scary
see.
hours.
Yes, it is.
Scary hours.
And I think Poetan gets Cyril Gane out of there late first round, second round. He's gonna calf kick him until Cyril Gane can't move, and once he can't move, lefts for everybody.
Everybody gets a left. What do you think about who Sean O'Malley is fighting? Because
I don't
I've
even want to talk
never
about it. I
heard of.
think it's cap.
That's
And
a
I heard
duck move.
I listened to Sean O'Malley on Ariel Hawani today, and he was talking about what he wanted to do. If I'm Dana White, I'm looking at that and being like, awesome. So you don't even have aspirations of being a champion again. You just want to put on a show. That's cool, but that's not what the UFC is for. The UFC
Nope.
is world champion, like world class fight. Now, if you want to go to the BMF and fight for that then that's fine. But like, bro, your first title defense was Cheeto Vera. You have the opportunity to fight Corey Sandhagen, and no,
And you've been ducking him.
bro, you ducking, son.
Been ducking. And
Quack,
Sandhagen
quack, quack.
posted on on Instagram about being like, bro, you don't even act like you want to fight me. You deflect. He was like putting up video clips of people asking him about Sandhagen, and he just deflects it every time. I think because the true skill of Sandhagen is what is frightening to him, and he doesn't want any part of that. However, I think the White House card is going to be. They had an opportunity to do other things, and I get that it is harder to make that happen. Schedules, injuries, everything of the sort. Why not put Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunez on that card?
Because I don't think Kayla's ready.
She wouldn't be ready by June 14th.
I don't think she is. Or they're putting her on international. That's going to be on International Fight Week. I think the
Yeah,
reason they're doing it on the White House is because they just want. What is it? 6 fights. It's supposed to be a quick,
7.
yeah. So it's a quick card. It's not going to take that long, and it's because it's at the White House. It's going to be something different, and it may be a one-time thing. But
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of why. Um, it is what it is. Like that, it's a named event, and it's like one of the first
Mhm.
named events that I can remember since my childhood, back when it was on
Yeah.
Spike TV and shit. Like that makes it cool, and it's like for 250 or whatever, 350,
Yeah.
freedom.
America Freedom
Yeah.
250.
So
That's the
yeah,
most Donald Trump
but that's what I'm saying is
naming of it I've ever
that's
heard.
that's what it's supposed to be. But like I said,
Yeah.
I'm more interested in now seeing the International Fight Week card. But I am curious to see Poetan and Alex. But that's it. That's it. I was gonna say what you want to lead the people with this week.
Um, and we just had to put this quick little show together because free agency is popping off, and I think it's gonna still pop off. We just have to talk about it. We missed our running mate Cameron. He's out there, supporting his little guy tonight. He had a game today, so Cameron will be back on Sunday per usual. And love the listens, love the reactions, love the YouTube comments. And if you don't think that we don't pay attention to them, you're dead wrong. So keep them coming.
And for me, the next time we talk on Sunday, I'll be depressed because I know who our quarterback will be. But we out. Peace.